purpose of this video tutorial is to explain how to write well in your social studies class. This video will review pre-writing strategies, how to provide evidence of a source, how to write an introduction sentence, thoroughly answering the question, underlining, and I will review the length requirements for your extended responses. This tutorial will include instructions, rules, and examples to help you write the best possible extended response. There is another tutorial in this series that will help you understand the resources available to help you find information or content to include in your response. This is what a typical extended response will look like for this course. There will always be a header. This will include the unit, topic, and assignment. Below the header, you will find the prompt. This is what your extended response will answer. At the end of each prompt, you will find a point value that has a link to a rubric. The rubric will provide you an in-depth description of how to earn your points. That is what this video will do as well. Below the prompt, you will find bulleted descriptions of how to earn points. Again, that is what this video will explain. Below the bulleted descriptions, there is an answer box. This is where you will type your answer. As the year goes on, below the answer box will be links to helpful resources to help you find information. Those are not included on this extended response. Pre-writing is an important step in the writing process. I know that many of you want to skip this step because it takes a little bit of time. That time is well spent because it will organize your ideas and make writing easier. This will probably lead you to actually spending less time writing your response. The first step in the pre-writing process is to read the question or the prompt. The prompt we are answering today is identify 3 events from early American history and explain how each event helped to shape the United States today. It's important to read the question because this will guide your writing. The next step in the pre-writing process is to list your answers. You don't need to explain them at this point. Simply list them to guide your response. You can create an outline like you see here. There is a link to this outline in the writing tutorial. Feel free to copy it and use it when you would like. You would simply type or list your answers under Listed Answers. The next step in the pre-writing process is to determine your sources. You need to include a source for each extended response you write. This should be a source that provided you with your answers. The second section of the outline contains questions to guide your evidence. This is where you would include your sources. The final step in the pre-writing process is to organize your ideas. Organizing your ideas will help you to keep your focus while you write. You can use the outline or a cluster to organize your ideas. The bottom of this outline has bullet points to write your introduction and for your answers. Writing your response in an outline form will help you to create organization and the proper sequence in your response. Each time you write an extended response, you will receive a cluster. This is a graphic organizer that may be more visually appealing and easier for you to use than the outline. The cluster will include a box for you to write your introduction. It will also include a box for your listed answers. Identify your sources in the source box. Use the introduction box to write your introduction. Finally, use the bottom boxes for your answers. The cluster is an excellent way to organize your ideas before you write on your extended response. In fact, if you do a good job on this, you can simply copy and paste your answers from each box into your extended response. All of your writing for this class will be evidence-based. This means that you will need to provide evidence of a source every time that you write. Evidence will provide credibility to your answer. You can earn up to 3 points on your extended response for providing evidence of a source. The first step you must take in providing evidence of a source is to introduce your source. This will tell us who the author is. You need to include their name in this introduction. You can use an according to statement. The second step you must take in providing evidence of a source is to provide the source's credibility. You need to state why they are a reliable source on your topic. Including their profession or title may help you to do this. A PhD of history is a step in the right direction to make an author credible for your writing in this class. The third step you must take in providing evidence of a source is to include your source before your information. This signals to the reader that the information that follows comes from that source. This lets the reader know that your information is credible or reliable. Let's look at an example of how to provide evidence of a source. According to Eric Foner, professor of history at Columbia University, this is what I want your writing to look like. Eric Foner is my source in this example. According to Eric Foner, introduces my source. That's all you have to do to introduce your source. An according to statement is a good way to introduce your source. Professor of history at Columbia University provides the source's credibility. The prompt is about influential events in American history. The fact that Eric Foner is a history professor at a prominent college makes him credible. This would help you to earn the 3 possible points for your evidence. These are bad examples of source introductions. Stay away from using these source introductions. They are informal and should not be included in your writing. You will lose points if you use any of these source introductions. You would only earn 1 of 3 possible points in the evidence category if you used any of these examples. These are good examples of source introductions. Use any of these statements to introduce your source. Using any of these examples would help you get to earning 3 points for the evidence category. Writing a strong introduction will provide structure to your response and ensure you answer all parts of the question. Strong introductions in this class include your source, they're specific, and they restate the question. The first step in writing a strong introduction is to include your evidence. I want you to get in the habit of putting the evidence in the introduction. This will let me know that you found all of your information from this source. I showed you how to include evidence of a source earlier in this tutorial. I showed you that because we are going to use that in our introduction. Simply use your evidence of a source at the start of your introduction. The second step in writing a strong introduction is to be specific. Write the number of concepts you will be writing about, or list them. Answer as if the prompt or question asked what was or what were. Avoid using words like many, several, multiple. Those words aren't specific. For this example, I am specific because I included 3 in my introduction. I could have also written the 3 events. The third step in writing a strong introduction is to restate the question. This will help to focus your writing on answering the question or prompt. It will also alert the reader what you will be writing about. The statement, events in American history that shaped the U.S. today, restates the question. Restating the question in your introduction will help to guide your response. This is a good introductory response. Here are some bad examples of introductions. The first example is a bad example because it is not specific. It uses vague words like many, multiple, several, and lots. The second example is bad because it is written in first person. Stay away from using first person in these responses. The third example is bad because it only includes 1 event. This would lead the reader to think this paragraph is only about the Declaration of Independence. You would only earn 1 out of 2 possible points for the introduction if you used any of these examples. All of these examples are good introductions and would get you all of the 2 possible points. The first introduction is specific and it restates the question. The second introduction is better because it's more specific. It lists the events in the introduction. The last example is the best because it is specific. It restates the question and it includes evidence of a source. This last example would actually be worth 5 points. 2 points for a strong introduction and 3 points for evidence. The answer category section of your response is where you have the opportunity to earn the most points. Each answer is worth up to 3 points. Most extended responses will require 3 different answers, so this section will be worth 9 points. The first step to remember in the answer section is to complete the required action. Identifying the action will make it easier to answer the question. The verb or verbs in each question or prompt are the action. This prompt asks us first to identify. Identify simply means to pick out or name. It also asks us to explain. Explain simply means to make an idea clear by giving more detail. Understanding what you are supposed to do is the first step to answering the question or prompt. The second step to remember in the answer section is to answer all parts of the question or prompt. This prompt is asking us to identify and explain 3 events. We need to include 3 events and explain how each of those 3 events helped to shape the United States today. You must address all parts of the question or prompt to earn all of the possible points. You can earn up to 3 points for the explanation of each event. The third step to remember in the answer section is to fully develop your answers. You must support your answer with facts or ideas from your research. Write as if the reader is unfamiliar with the topic. For this example, explain the answer as if the reader does not know about the event. You can see this sample response begins with an introduction. This introduction includes evidence, it is specific, and it restates the question. The next group of sentences includes the first part of the answer. The Declaration of Independence is identified as a significant event. To get all 3 points, you must then explain why it is significant in shaping the U.S. today. This is done in the answer because it explains how it established the foundation for government and also how its ideas are still used today. This answer completes the required action, answers all parts of the question, and is fully developed. The next group of sentences includes the second part of the answer. The ratification of the Constitution is identified as a significant event. Again, this answer completes the required action, answers all parts of the question, and is fully developed. This answer would earn 3 more points. The last group of sentences includes the third part of the answer. The Reconstruction Amendments are identified as a significant event. This answer also completes the required action, answers all parts of the question, and is fully developed. This would earn 3 more points for the author. You can earn points for this category by identifying the main ideas in your response. The underlining category is worth 2 points. You need to underline the main ideas. These are the ideas that you'll be explaining. I'm asking you do this so that I know you can identify the main ideas. Only underline 1 to 3 words in a group. Avoid underlining entire sentences. Remember, you are only underlining the main ideas. Your underlined words could be used as a quick answer to the prompt. You are underlining the answers. An easy way to identify the main idea is to change the question to what is or what were, and then finish the question with the prompt. For our example, we would ask, what were the 3 events from early American history that helped to shape the United States today? If you are answering in complete sentences, your answer is what you would underline. Declaration of Independence, U.S. Constitution, and Reconstruction Amendments are underlined. They are the main ideas. They are 1 to 3 words, and they serve as a quick answer to the question. What were 3 events from early American history that helped to shape the United States today? This would earn you the 2 possible points for underlining. The last category to earn points is the length category. This is another 2-point category. In order to earn the 2 possible points, each extended response you write should be 5 to 7 sentences. 5 to 7 sentences will be easy to write if you address all parts of the question. You can get 1 to 2 sentences for your introduction and source of evidence. Then you should write 1 to 2 sentences for the ideas you are explaining. Most responses will require you to explain or describe 2 to 3 ideas, events, or topics. Addressing all parts of the question will help you earn your 2 points for this category. Part of writing these responses is using important and supportive information. You need to identify and include information that supports your answer while filtering out information that is not as important or that does not support your ideas. The easiest way to check your length is to count your sentences. Let's count the sentences in this example. Our first sentence, second sentence, third sentence, fourth sentence, fifth sentence, sixth sentence, and seventh sentence. This example would earn 2 points. In fact, this extended response would earn all of the possible points. The introduction is specific, restates the question, and includes evidence. The evidence provides credibility and reliability of the author. The answers fully address the prompt. The main ideas are underlined, and it is the right length. This response would earn all 18 points. Every time you answer an extended response, you will have access to resources to help you find the answers. You have access to a text that I have created. the research you complete, the answers to the research that I have reviewed with you, the daily brief explanations, and the writing tutorial.